What's up, and welcome to 5280 Film Room.
We're a Colorado sports podcast by fans for fans.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
You can also email us your input, questions, and ideas at 5280filmroom@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening. What's up, Rockies fans?
Why you sound so sad?
Well, it's been a rough week, Gideon. Been a rough week. This is Alyssa, by the way.
I'm Gideon.
And I'm Miles.
Jordan's missing.
He's at work.
MIA. Well,
What a responsible adult.
hopefully not MIA.
We don't have
No,
jobs.
Yeah.
I do know where he is. He is not missing. He is on the job. Normally, I'm like a obnoxious bundle of hyperactive energy. Not
A little rough.
today.
A little rough with the loss last night. Or was it 10-2?
5-2.
5-2.
Yeah,
Five-
last
5-2?
night was 5-2.
Okay.
I mean, the hope originally was, hey, if we can take 2 against the Dodgers. And then, first 2 games didn't go our way. You know what? It'll be fine.
But it was
If we can take 1 against the Dodgers.
It was even trending for us to even score more runs in the last game, and it didn't happen.
And it felt like it should have happened, and it could have happened, and it just flopped.
It fell apart. Losing Trevor Story is no excuse for leaving runners on base, not capitalizing on walks. And
Swinging at pitches that have no business being swung at.
Yeah, maybe this is seeing our team kind of crack under pressure a little bit, but with 10 games left, I think they really got to do a 180 and start doing something differently.
And I do think this is an opportunity for them to have a kind of a big turnaround and show what they're made of, but that'd be a big change of momentum, having to come kind of out of thin air.
Do you guys think we're going to be able to shoot for the divisional lead?
It's going to be tough. Especially 2.5 back in the division with 10 games left. So
And with the harder schedule.
And the
than
harder
Dodgers.
schedule. The benefit that we have is that the Dodgers, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Dodgers are playing all divisional rounds, or divisional games.
Yes.
All their matchups
So that
left are
kinda
in the
helps.
division.
Well,
But we talk about the Padres, and
we would have to sweep
all
the
right,
Diamondbacks, then the Diamondbacks would have to go and sweep the Dodgers.
because they're angry.
It
because
is-
they just got
They're
swept.
angry. Yeah,
It is possible, mathematically. It is still possible.
It's possible.
Oh, very, very much so.
It's just
But going back to
gonna
that
be a
180.
pretty epic rally
Yeah.
to come out of this off day, and they have the day off today. And hopefully they are really capitalizing on it and utilizing it, because starting tomorrow, they play every single day for these last 10 games.
Take
Would
the
you-
day off and enjoy it.
Would you guys say it's going to be a more difficult path to the wild card spot or to the division lead?
Division lead.
I think it's harder to do the divisional lead just because of the schedule. Not necessarily because we're 2.5 back on the divisional lead, whereas on the wild card we're only 1.5 back from the second spot, which the Cardinals currently hold. But I think we definitely have a high chance of making that second wild card spot. But I hope the Rockies are also looking at themselves in the mirrors today, asking, do you want to be in the real playoffs or do you want to be in the baby playoffs?
Well, and do you have what it takes to make them at all?
Right.
Because if these trends continue, then yeah, we're done. It's over.
Yeah.
Basically,
But there's
I think,
still 10 games left. Things can take a turn, but it's gonna be a hairpin turn.
I don't know. I almost think it's almost easy. It's going to be tough, but as far as the wild card and or division, because there is the Brewers have 10 games left, and the Cardinals have 9 games. One of those series is against each other.
True.
So that kind
could
of
shake
puts a
some stuff
standstill
up.
in. If the Brewers sweep the Cardinals, that helps us. But if the Cardinals go 2-1 or sweep them, that kind of really puts us in a sticky wicket for the wild card spot. There's really
There's so many ways it can go.
Oh, yeah.
It seems
And
like
there's no way to predict it.
It seems like always our growing, young, professional sports teams always just hit this wall when it goes through, like, breaking through that playoff wall.
Right there.
Like, we're here, we're ready to go, but then it comes down to literally the last game.
And
Like,
this
that's
is
what
the
this
moment,
is going to come down to.
Right. And this is the moment where they, as much as none of us wanted them to be in this situation, they have an opportunity to really make a big impact should they turn things around. But that's such a big question mark. It's such a big what if. And I truly have no idea how these 10 games are going to go.
I think our pitching has hit their stride, and that's our starting pitchers outside of Gray. He's still like the wild card. More like a Joker. He's like the Joker. But no, our bullpen has been doing okay. I mean, granted,
They've been
we also played one
solid
of the
comparatively.
hardest. I don't know.
Both?
The Dodgers are pretty good at swinging their bats, and they have lights out pitchers as well. So
Well, they also stacked their top 3 pitchers against us in this past series.
right, because they knew
Doesn't help.
they needed that
like,
divisional
yeah.
control, and they got it. But I think our batting is better than their pitching, and they didn't show that this last few games.
And for everyone to be so consistently weak is what's the most
It's shocking.
disheartening. Yeah.
Like, what are they? Are they just? Yeah.
What's
never mind.
going on?
I'm not gonna say those words.
The mental side of the game. You know what I mean? Like, what's happening
it's
in
a long
that
season.
locker room?
Maybe it is time to give some of these younger dudes some opportunities. Like, I don't want to say start tanking and not hope for baseball, but
certainly not.
that's where it comes down to the management. And Bud's got to figure out what players to put in and who's gonna actually try hard and not do stupid stuff on the field.
And from watching Nolan during this series against the Dodgers was painful. Not just because of his horrible underperformance, but like just watching him and his body language and his mannerisms, like something is up.
It was definitely underwhelming.
I even got the sense that like he didn't want to go up to bat. He's going, why are you putting me up here? I'm not playing well. Like, stop making me do this when I'm failing us.
This could be
because he wants to win.
Like, if he's slumping while Trevor Story's out, like, that's not good.
No.
And I mean, DJ can be consistent for, a couple doubles and getting on base, but he's got 15 homers this year, so he can't necessarily be relied on to be the designated to-go guy. And maybe they gotta switch Charlie Blackmon's spot up on the batting lineup again.
Something's gotta give. Like, changes have to be made just to shake things up and kind of almost reset things back to ground zero and then go from there. With Trevor, good news is there's not a definitive timeline for his return, but he could play during this weekend series.
Yeah, he's not significantly injured.
Exactly.
And from what I heard, like, he feels good. He's confident that there's no extensive injury.
The MRI came back, and that obviously was like, okay.
That alleviated a lot of concerns.
Because coming up, we've got 3 games against the Diamondbacks, 4 against the Phillies, and then 3 against the Nationals. Back to back to back to back. Those 10 games are just one after another, not a single break. If we look at
the benefit is 7 of them are at home.
True.
At Coors.
Those last 2 series being at home, I think, is huge.
It was a big reason why we had a better road
road
record than we did a home record at the start of the season.
And now it's taken a drastic
kind of game of
change.
averages, evens it out.
Yeah, right.
Type deal.
Exactly.
I just hope our pitching staff can keep it rolling. I mean, it's easy to hit at Coors Field. That's what everyone says, and people hate on Freeland because he just doesn't pitch for a good team.
Well,
but he
people
pitches
being the
half his
national
games
audience
in Coors Field too. But
last night, like, even Tyler Anderson showed up and he pitched a good game.
yes,
And
Given the most recent track record. That
Exactly.
He's had.
his seasonal ERA was, I think it was 4.89. And going into that matchup, I thought for sure it was going to be emotional for him, like on the inside, not necessarily break out in tears if he got the W or anything. But he wanted to go out there and be like, hey, I'm going to have a bounce back game.
Type.
And
Yeah.
like I can pitch well against good hitters. And I think he showed that he does have a place on this Rockies team, and hopefully he has a successful future moving forward, and we can start knocking down that ERA a little bit more.
And it just sucks that he came out and was able to deliver, and the team was not able to collectively kind of come together around that and build on the momentum.
And I think as a fan base, we got to stop really, like, it's kind of like Spider-Man looking in the mirror and be like, hey, you! it's your fault. Like, first it's the batter's fault, then it's the pitcher's fault.
You can't peg it on a player.
Like, now that we're pushing for the playoffs, like, we can have those conversations during the middle of the season because it's a long year and it's like, there's shit going on. But now that it's playoffs, like, the team is the team. Pitching is going to be doing well, and then our batting has to be doing well.
Right.
And there can't be any more...
And you win as a team,
conflict,
you lose as a team.
I don't know.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's about that cohesive attitude going forward. And we don't know what it's like on the inside. We have no idea what the actual Rockies players are experiencing or thinking or feeling. But it's definitely, if nothing else, they make it a nail biter down to the last second. Because when we look at the wild card positioning, the Brewers are in first. We're 4.5 back from the Brewers. Cardinals in second. We're 1.5 back from them. There's so many different ways we could get a spot in the wild card, or we could end up with a divisional win.
Or be the odd man out.
Like, all of those things are probable. I know for most Rockies fans, like, it's definitely, the emotion is, we're done. Throw in the towel. They ruined a great season. And it's like, slow your roll a little bit. Like, it's not over yet.
We are a pretty emotional fan base in
Oh,
Colorado.
yes, for sure. Which isn't
We ride
a
the
bad
highs
thing.
and we wallow in the lows.
Yes, absolutely. And it's like the instant highs. Like, we're going to the World Series in June and lose a series to the Dodgers.
We're the worst
and
team in
we're
our
done.
division.
We're going to be horrible for 10 years. Like, there's no hope left. What's going to happen? It's, no matter what, it's been a good season. It's been a great season to watch. And I'm excited to see how the narrative pans out. See how the story ends for the Rockies this season. Because nobody knows. It's like those books when we were kids that are like, write your own story. And you get to the end of a chapter and you get to pick to go in the cave or go climb the mountain. Like, we don't know. And we have no control over it, fans. And that's the sucky part. I know we all like to feel like and we do, especially at home games. Like, that's where fans have a big impact. So everybody, like, show up for those games against the Phillies and show up for those games against the Nationals, because those could be make or break it. But at the end of the day, it comes down to these athletes. And no matter what happens, I don't think my personal attitude will be, oh, they didn't try hard enough.
Oh, of course not. I mean, these guys are professional athletes out there putting everything on the line. I mean, yeah, it's going to hurt. They're going to probably take some time off from baseball in the offseason if that is what happens. But at the end of the day, these guys are the best of the best. There's only, 30 teams out there?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, this is where we need Jordan for random baseball knowledge. I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah.
This has been, like, the lowest energy podcast in the history of all time. But I'm sure you can all empathize pretty sincerely.
Well, looking forward to the Arizona matchup. That's in Arizona, right?
Yeah, that's the last away
So,
series.
and then we finish out at home, which is nice. But
7 straight.
I feel like we play Arizona better at their stadium than
yes.
we do at Coors Field.
I agree.
And
I think we played the Arizona better than any other divisional team.
Yeah.
Aside
If
from maybe
we-
the Padres.
even the Padres can sneak a couple wins.
Yes.
Oh,
let's
yeah, for
let's
sure.
hope they sneak a bunch of wins on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And their next.
But I mean, I
matchup.
think if we
All
can
of them.
hold Goldschmidt to like one home run the entire series, I think we can take the series, go 2-1. I think Jordan would be proud of my realistic prediction.
he would be very proud.
The fire inside of me says we need to sweep out, like go 10-0. But that's it's not realistic. Probably not going to happen.
Possible.
2007 might have been a fluke year.
I'm not giving up
But
on him.
I mean, if we can win 7 of these last 10, I think we have a good shot at least making that wild card spot.
I think 7's a good number. I at the low end, I'd say 6, but we would definitely need
Like if
some help.
we have to
Right.
win,
We
have
would
to
need
win
some
each
other
lot of
teams
help,
to get
yeah.
smoked.
2-1 or 2-1.
Like we would need the
3-1.
Brewers to sweep the Cardinals, Dodgers to lose.
We just
out.
Dodgers, you guys take a nap, bench your starters. You don't want to go to the playoffs. It's not fun.
No.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Next time we do a Rockies podcast will be a little over a week from today. So, I truly have no idea what we're going to be talking about, what the situation's going to be, but I'm excited to see what happens.
Too. And if you
Yep.
guys check our Facebook page, and we also have an Instagram account, we'll probably be throwing some posts up there to keep track of what's going on throughout the week.
For sure.
But yeah, the next podcast, a lot of things are going to be changed.
It'll be a whole new world 7 days from now. Thank you guys so much for listening. Catch you later.
Peace. Toodles.